Hello, this is Larry Wright with iBuyerBeware.com, and we're here back at 6791 Gower Road, continuing our conversation with Julie Wright and the case study on her experience with iBuyers and trying to sell her house. So, you put your house on the market, you tried to sell it.
Honestly, I did an experiment. I made up a Zillow listing just on a whim. And then I was a member of a Facebook page that was specific to canine and kennel properties, which at the time I still had 8 outdoor kennel runs. And it's gotten to where in a lot of cities it's hard to have multiple dogs because of different ordinances and laws and codes. So I thought, well, I'll test the market there and just see if there's any interest. And I got some nibbles. In fact, somebody that saw that posting related to a friend of a friend kind of thing, and I actually got a contract. And I was like, wow.
And this is before you actually officially listed it?
It had never been listed in MLS.
All right, and you got a contract.
I got a contract, and I was like, wow, really? And that was the end of April. However, it was contingent upon the sale of that woman's home, very nearby.
Okay.
She wanted to stay close in the area because her daughter's in a private school very close by. But she wanted more property, more acreage. She had grown up in the country in Alabama. She still wanted to be close to the city, but have all the extras. And it was like a perfect fit. But she, for whatever reason, couldn't get her house ready to show. And the few showings she had, she wasn't getting any offers. And so at the end of August, we just decided, we just mutually decided it wasn't going to work.
So you waited May, June, almost 3 or 4 months for her to sell her house.
Right.
Which in this market, I don't know how big her house was. In the right situation, she should have sold her house if she was prepared.
In fact, the house 2 doors down from her sold in 3 days.
Yeah.
So there was a lot of problems
Yeah,
there.
we've discussed this in the past.
Yeah.
I mean, the average days on market for a house under $500,000 is like 6 weeks.
Exactly.
So the market's fierce. So when the market is fierce like this, it brings a different element to the industry. And that's what we've been talking about, this non-traditional approach to real estate. So you had your experience with an iBuyer or a cash offer buyer?
Oh, I've had those too. As soon as I put it on Zillow, the first thing that happened was the phone started ringing constantly, and I'd say 90% of them were other agents who had not read my ad description that I was a retired agent, and so they wanted to list it. And they all seem to be coming from the same company, which I found interesting as well. It's almost as if they troll Zillow looking for
there's a company, it's not a secret. I mean, and I'm not sure this is the same one because we have not had a talk about this, but there's a group, Gary Ashton, which we talked about in one of our previous vlogs, that he actually is associated with Zillow.
Okay.
So, and this is what happens, what people don't realize. Even if you go on Zillow and you just post a question or say you inquire about selling your house or something, boom, they get all of your information. Here come all the phone calls.
Right.
Here come all the emails, and they're zeroing in on you.
Right.
Because they know they have someone that's interested in selling.
Right. And it was very almost upsetting because I didn't know. I was afraid not to answer the phone because it could be.
You never know who it is.
Right. In my case, all the agents were Keller Williams. If we're giving out names.
No, we're here to tell the truth today.
Yeah, okay.
So we're just talking.
Right, and then that's who it was. Then the next thing that started happening were a lot of calls for would I be interested in a lease purchase, and I'm just not. I'm not financially in a position to do that, and I'm really wanting just to cut and run. I'm ready to go.
Okay.
It's time for a new chapter in my life, and my equity, I paid cash for my home, so all my equity is in my home, and it's time to cash that out and buy my next, which may be my last home. And so it's an exciting time. It's emotional, but that's the situation I'm in. So, and you don't know who these people are, where their money's coming from, and a lot of them, were from way outside of our area,
right?
Geographically. So that was a little, I didn't trust those.
Well, that's what people need to understand when they go online and they communicate with any of these iBuyers online now. like Zillow, like Open Door, when they get your information, a lot of other people have bought the rights to your information.
Yes, they probably maybe they subscribe to get leads. Or
Yeah,
something.
it's insane, and we all know
Yeah.
that are in this business. People pay thousands of dollars for qualified leads. Well, that's a joke, right? Because all it is information on the internet that when you put it in there initially, Zillow gets it, and they're selling it to any realtor that's willing to pay a few $1,000s for your information.
Right.
And then here come all the phone calls. So to say that these guys are making your life more convenient,
Not so much.
that's what
Not
we're
so
getting
much.
at. So other than Zillow and putting your information in, have you had any other experience with any of the other online companies?
Well, even before I was interested in selling, there was always, at least once a week, a postcard in the mailbox. We buy houses. We want to buy your house. Let us sell your house. All sorts of things. And there again, as an absolute experiment and as a learning experience, just to kind of put in my own bag of real estate tricks, I called up the We Buy Houses that you see on TV.
Was it the We Buy Ugly House company or the Tennessee Home Buyers?
Tennessee Home Buyers.
Okay, they do. If anybody's interested, they do the commercials early in the morning. Local company. We talked about this. Local and national companies. This is a local company that does advertising on TV that they buy your house. So you inquired. You called them, or
I did. I called and we set up an appointment for one of their, I guess, agents to come out. It was not the young man that you see on TV, but it was somebody else. And he came out and he spent a good amount of time with me. And he went through the house and made sure everything was in working order. And at the time that my house was still fully furnished, and the basement probably had too much in it. But anyway, he went through everything, went back and did his homework, whatever, and then he submitted a written offer. Just a lump sum written offer.
how long after he came out here and inspected the house did you receive the written offer?
Oh gosh, it was within like 72 hours.
Okay.
3 days. It was quick.
Okay.
Because this property is very difficult to run comps on.
I get it.
Because of the acreage and because of where it is. Things out here don't turn over and sell often. So it's hard to find something that is truly apples to apples.
Yeah, that's both good and bad, right?
It is.
It doesn't turn over, but you don't get a true comparable analysis.
Exactly. So
how was his first written offer?
Well, it was very, very low.
Okay, let's talk. We can just talk in
if you
generalities.
want real numbers, I can tell you real
No,
numbers.
let's talk in generalities. We talked a little earlier, and I want to reiterate this. Julie and I have not spoken one-on-one. I didn't know what she was going to say. I didn't know what the offer was. So I want everybody to understand exactly what we're talking about here. Julie told me a little earlier that she would list her house, or she would sell her house for $375,000, or roughly, give or take. I don't know. I haven't done the comparable analysis for the property out here, but it's almost 4 acres with a property, 1,800 square foot basement. I take it a little of 1,800 top, 3
The
bedroom,
house
2
is
bath.
about 2,100.
So 2,100 square feet with 4 acres. You're minutes from Nashville, minutes from Charlotte Pike and the river. I don't think that's an extremely high price. I don't know. We'll do the information and analysis and put it online. But so they came out here, they checked your house, 72 hours. What was their offer?
250.
So, okay, $250,000. Let's just call your house. Let's just say it's worth $325,000. I don't know. Okay,
But even still,
let's go. We could even say $300,000, right? What we're talking about here is they're offering her their first offer, and everybody talks about convenience, cash offers. Do it quick, son. Get your money right away. We're talking about something in the range of 30 to 40% below value.
oh yeah,
house.
at least. And here's the thing. There are situations where that might be a real convenience. If it's grandmother's house that's dilapidated and the family is just done and just wants to walk away, that's probably a great way to do it. However, everything is in working order in my home. Almost brand new HVAC and water heater. Sure, it needs some updates. I tell everybody I brought it into this century, but it's time for somebody to the next chapter is for the next owner to bring it into the next decade. But it doesn't need that much work. Now, if he was thinking that's a wholesale price versus a retail price, that's still way too much money difference.
Well, you can't give it away. We talked
No.
about that. And if it required a house flip, and I've done probably 30 of them in my lifetime. I would come in. Your house is not a complete renovation,
No, it's not.
and that's what you would think by the offer that they gave.